Welcome everyone, it's Neil here from 3D Tudor, back today with an amazing modular pack, and this modular pack is based on our brand new Aztec themed course. This is the actual modular pack, so if you don't want to do the course, but you do want all of the modular pieces and put together your own modular city, Aztec city or Aztec town or temple, then this is the pack for you. Now, before anyone goes anywhere, within this pack there are numerous geometry nodes. There are tons and tons of shaders. There's even our terrain shader incorporated into this pack. There's all of the things like the waterfall shader. I'm going to go through all that in just 1 second. And we've also supplied the complete day scene. So the complete day scene demo file was in there, so you can see how it's all put together and learn that way as well. And I'll drop this down the right hand side. So I've given one day scene and one night scene, and within there is a full tutorial of how that's put together, over 10 minutes long for each one of the day and night scene. Now, before I move on, if you want to actually get this pack for free, then all you need to do is just head over to our Patreon and sign up for €10 per month just to help support us. And in exchange, we will actually be sending you this pack for free. So enough of all that though, let's jump into this pack. So the first thing you will see within this pack, this is exactly what you're going to get. What you're going to open up is all the little modular pieces. Now, these modular pieces are built in Blender and they have Blender shaders on them, most of them. Some of them have a few textures in there, but they're mainly used for Blender. They also have overlapping UVs. So if you want to take them out to something like Unreal or Godit or Unity, then just remember you're going to have to take them through to Substance Painter. Everything is actually UV unmapped. You'll just have to pack them in and then paint them that way. But if you want to keep them within Blender, everything is already set up for you, so it shouldn't be any problem. Now, you can see that all of these parts you can put together like Lego or a kit bash, and they'll all go together, and you'll see within the actual demo files that I've supplied how it all kind of fits together. All right, so what kind of things then do we get with this pack? Well, first of all, I'm going to go to the geometry nodes. So we do get a jungle terrain geometry node. We do get a couple of actual pillar geometry nodes. We certainly get some steps. We get a fire geometry node. We get a stacker geometry node, and we get a floor geometry node. So I'm just going to quickly show you what each of these do now. So first of all, you can see that we've got a stair geometry node here. So this one basically you can make as high as you want. You can turn it if you want to. So you can see here, I can pull it any way I want. I can actually even bring in some subdivisions like so, and then I can actually turn it. So let's just put on proportional editing, and you can see now I can actually turn my stairs. It works exactly the same way as this stairs as well. Play around with, including the fire, so I can actually bring up the flame, for instance. I can give it more smoke. I can change the emission, and all of these geometry nodes are actually on our YouTube channel, so you can go in and check each one if you want to, but they're all actually incorporated in this pack. So basically it's a set price, whether it's commercial or standard license that you're looking for everything. And I mean all of the geometry nodes, all of the shaders, everything you see here is basically incorporated in there. Now, if you look on this one, we've got also a jungle terrain geometry node, and basically this is a great one. It's using weight paint. You just basically add in the geometry node, and then you can change the scale of the ferns, or you can change the randomness. You can even change the density. So if I want more ferns in there, I can actually change that quite easily, and everything can be done on the fly. So if I want to have no ferns, for instance, I can change that. And this works in conjunction with our actual terrain texture, and this terrain texture, unlike these other shaders here, actually has 4 shaders incorporated into one. So if I click on here and go over to my shader, you'll see it's one shader, but within here is actually 4 different shaders. So if I go to vertex paint, for instance, and I come in, I go to add, you can see we've got opacity in there, so we can add in some opacity. You can also see if I come and change the color, so let's change it to green, you'll see that I can add in some mud in there. Let's go and subtract this as well, so I can subtract it. Let's change it to red, and then you can draw on things like the actual mud. So you can see within here, we've got very dark mud, we've got some lighter mud, we've got some kind of moss, and we've also got opacity all built in to the same shader. So that's really handy. As well as that as well, you can actually go in there and you can see how this shader's set out. So if I zoom out here, you can also see how this is set out with those 3 and the opacity in there, so you can actually make your own shader as well. So moving back then, we've also got all of these different shaders, including things like our hot coals. We've got things like our water shader, which I'll talk about in a minute. We've got some gold in there, some stone, and all the things that you're going to find in an Aztec environment. Now, moving on, if we move over now to our actual waterfall, you will see that this is the water shader that you get. This water shader is controlled by drivers. In other words, if I press the space bar, you can see how that's actually a falling waterfall. And if I actually put this onto rendered view, you will see why those dark marks are there. That's basically so you can actually see through it. So you can see it's quite a realistic waterfall, as you can see. And also with the fire here, you can see that's also looking very, very nice. Now, the other thing that you get with it, let's just put it onto shader view again, is all of this foliage. So you get all of these vines, all of this foliage here, all of these trees, and basically, as I said, everything you see here is included in the pack. Now, let's move on over then to the day and night scene, and I'll show you exactly what you get there as well. So here is the day scene that you'll get when you actually open up this actual pack. And what you'll find is that all of these are actually turned off. So if you have a slower machine and it's not very fast at, putting everything in the scene, or it won't open, we've also fixed that as well. So all you'll need to do is just come in and actually turn these on, and you'll see you actually get everything. I mean, everything that we actually created for the actual day scene. So you can see this is what you actually get. All of this, all of the terrain, all of the geometry node setup, all of the fire setup and everything like that, as well as that 10-minute long video that will go through everything, how to place these things, how everything's set up. All right, so let's move on then to the actual night scene. So here we are in the night scene. Now, if I just put this on object mode, you'll see this is what you actually get when you open up the file. And if we put it on rendered view, and then what I'll do is I'll turn all of these things on. So you can see again, it comes in with basically nothing showing really. So if I come in now and I turn all of these on, so start turning all of these on, and voila, as soon as they start popping in, you will see now it starts to come to life. So everything you're going to need is already in here, like so. You can see that you've got your moon in here. You can see you've got all of the foliage in here. And again, this also comes with its own 10-minute video showing you how everything is set up, how you can produce this yourself. Now, as well as that, of course, you can produce massive temples. You can add in your own actual modular parts, but this could be 4 times bigger quite easily, because the actual pack itself is actually low poly. So it's a low poly pack. The only thing that really take up a lot of performance is all of these trees, but you can lower those down if needed. The geometry node for the foliage as well, everything there can be lowered down, and you'll see exactly how that works if you watch our video on YouTube based on this foliage pack. The flames is also a geometry node, so they also cost quite a bit in performance, but everything else in this pack is actually pretty low performance. Now I'm just going to hop on back over to the modular pack. So here we are back in the modular pack. So to sum up, you get over 100 actual modular parts. All can be easily used within Blender. You get all of these shaders. I don't even know how many shaders it is. I think it's 20 plus shaders. You get our texture terrain shader, which is the 4 together. You get all of our foliage, including the actual vines. And finally as well, you get this beautiful waterfall shader, which is really handy for your own projects. And as well, you get all of these actual geometry nodes, which I think it's 6 geometry nodes or something like that. So even the price of the geometry nodes is actually more than the actual modular pack. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you really have a lot of fun actually putting this modular pack together. I'm looking forward to see what you guys actually create. And until next time, happy modeling, everyone. Cheers. Bye-bye.